What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We have another cool upload to do today. What we're going to be doing is installing a front runner bed rack for the third gen Tacomas. And the reason why we're doing that, we're going to be mounting a rooftop tent. And now the reason why I chose the front runner load bars kit is because my original plan is to do the retracts bed cover for the Tacomas with the T-slotted rails, and then do the up top overland short retracts rack. Now, I've had plenty of trips planned for the summer, and I kind of wanted to get out there and camp. Not right away, but kind of right away, honestly. And the lead times, unfortunately, right now are just way too extensive. So I figured, let's just go with a cheaper option, more affordable option that will hold us off for most of the summer. And I'm going to get that retracts cover ordered, as well as that up top rack. But for the meantime, we will have a setup that we can actually use while we're waiting for the lead times of the other products. Alright, so I've already unboxed the front runner load bars kit. And just from first impressions, looks like pretty good quality. All wrapped up pretty nicely. These look like the bars themselves, as well as these two boxes here. Looks like maybe might be the brackets, and also a hardware bag. Now, the way you mount these is using your stock Tacoma bed rails. My first concern was the weight of the rooftop tent with these front runner load bars, but honestly I think I'll be fine, is just because it's a temporary option. So it's a cheaper option. It looks like pretty good quality, and we're gonna go right ahead and install this, and as well as mount the tent at the end of this video. Alright, so in the box you're gonna have a few bags of hardware, as well as 4 of these brackets, all powder coated, 2 of the actual load bars, and obviously 2 instruction manuals on how to put everything together. Looks like this bag may be the rubber ends for the load bars once you get it installed, and the 2 separate bags are the hardware for the brackets themselves. And this just might be another bag of hardware for the load bars. It's pretty cool. Front runner includes a packing list and names of the people who've packed it. That's pretty unique. So yeah, let's get into this install. So since we're going to be using our stock bed rails, what we're going to have to do is, if you have these accessories already from Toyota, is basically just remove them for now. So to actually remove this, twist, to loosen it, twist this, and that just comes out like that. So the next part of the install is to actually mount these pieces, right? And these guys are gonna go on the backs of these brackets where these 2 holes are on each side. And the way we're gonna mount them is by, it looks like from the instructions, using these bolts and a washer, mounting through the hole and mounting this guy on the back of it, so that once we have that mounted, we can slide this through the stock bed rails. So I got these mounted through loosely. This is the orientation, how it should look. And you can use a 5mm Allen head to snug those up. So once you've got one done, probably just go ahead and do all of them, so that the way they're all ready to be installed in your stock Tacoma rails. Okay, so we have them all mounted in. I know I said to snug them up, but I would leave them kind of loose. That way they can take the shape of the bed rail as you put them in. And then obviously you can move them around, move your rails around, and position them further towards the cab or further towards the rear of the truck. Once we get everything mounted in, then we can snug it up. Alright, so guys, when you guys install this, back your screws off just about so much that it's barely catching those back rear plates that slide into your slot. And by doing that, you can still retain the bracket on it and slide the whole bracket assembly through the end of your stock rail onto the truck to your desired position. But once you guys get the brackets up there, roughly, these are the bolts that are going to be used to mount the load bar to the bracket. And the way to do that is you're going to take your bolt with the head facing down, put it into the key slot here, and then that is going to slide to your desired position to mount your 2 holes on your bracket. So this is going to sit like this on the brackets, right? 2 of them, and you're going to, I believe you're going to be using the washer in this nut. All right, so this is what everything will be looking like, and I left mine loose for right now. I'm going to snug everything up. My tent is not in yet, but I am going to include the clip of me measuring out and mounting the tent up there. So right now, obviously, I'm going to snug everything up so it's not hanging like this. I'm going to snug the sides up and then snug this up. So like I said, you're going to use those 2 black bolts, and those black bolts are going to slide into this keyway, and you're going to use a washer in the supplied nut for the bottom, and it's a 13 millimeter. All right, so once you guys get all that mounted up there, snugged up, you can use these black caps. They're just decorative caps and protective caps that will go underneath the nut assembly you just tightened, just to protect the hardware. Those guys pop on, and then we can go ahead and install the rubber ends for the load bars. So these are the rubber caps that will go into the ends of your load bars. Take them, install them like this, get them started. Okay. And I found it easiest to take a rubber mallet and kind of get them started in there. So now that I've installed the rubber caps, they are a tight fit. Take your time doing them, not to break them. This is not a final position on these until I get my tent in and mount them up, in which I'll show you in this video. This is where I'm going to leave them. They're snugged up for now, but obviously when I get the tent and figure out the placement of the tent and the measurements, I will then reposition these. But so far, I was really skeptical on the weight and the way this thing's gonna work, and how all this weight is gonna rely on these stock Tacoma rails. And yeah, you know, just from once you get everything snugged up, it is pretty stout. I mean, I can sit on it, and that's put all my weight on the bar. That's about 200 pounds right there on the bar, and it's holding just fine. It's just temporary for me. Obviously, I will be doing the different setup that I already explained. But I think for now, in the next few trips, and at least this season, hopefully I can get by with this front runner load bars. Everything was greatly packaged. Everything is explained for you. I made this video to help you guys along with it. But the next step we're going to be doing is mounting our CVT tent up here and getting that set up. And then we should be good to go. Alright, so here is the front runner rack with my CVT. It's actually the size of a Rainier, but it's a Freedom Series tent mounted on it. And what I did was I ended up moving this back one back as far as I could. Just give you some more support. But I got I'm gonna film a video on this tent specifically. It is a special one. It's a Freedom Series from CVT. I got it secondhand, but I'm going to film a video on the CVT tent and a review on it to show you guys what it looks like and my thoughts on it. But here is what it looks like with the front runner rack specifically. I ended up making my own plates to mount the tent to the bar. CVT should send you these with your tent, or any tent brand you buy should send you plates to mount it to load bars, okay? So the load bar is a universal piece. You can mount any kind of tent to the load bar. So let's look at what we got here. I mean, it is springy. I've been inside the tent with it on the truck, on the load bars, and it seems okay. Again, this is just temporary. The last thing I want is this to fall off or anything might happen. They do say these load bars are meant for a rooftop tent, but it's really the stock bed rails for the Tacomas that you need to worry about, because that's really where all the stress is going to be at when you're putting weight on top of the load bars. Yes, it's temporary. I think it'll work for now. I'll keep you guys updated on it and how it's doing. I'm going to, like I said, going to do a review on this tent specifically and show you guys everything about that. But here is the tent mounted on the load bars and how they're doing. I mean, you can kind of see it. I'm not sure if you guys can see it in the video, but you can see a very, very slight bow in the bar itself. Again, this is the largest, probably one of the largest tents you'll ever see on this load bar. This is their largest tent. It weighs 250 pounds, I believe. Here is what it looks like with it on the truck with the front runner load bars, and how it kind of sits kind of close to the, it gives you a nice sleek design. Yes, guys, that's what it looks like. All right, so I'm going to keep you guys updated with how it works out. Another thing I want to note is that when you guys put a tent on top of the load bars, or if you guys doing a tent, depending on what it may be, whether it's a tent or something else, specifically if it's a tent, use someone else to give you a hand. This thing was not light. I did not even try to attempt it myself, but definitely use another set of hands. I'm actually going to develop a pulley system inside the old garage here to able to store the tent when I'm not using it, and able to reinstall it easily, you know, lowering and raising the tent off the load bars. Develop a pulley system so it's a lot easier. I just back the truck back in and reinstall the tent when need be. I hope you guys enjoyed this upload. It's a sweet install. It's nice and simple. Take your time as always, and I hope this video helped you guys to install this front runner load bars kit, and I hope my tips on how to load the tent and how to mount the tent helped. I know there's several thousand different kinds of tents out there, but the concept is basically the same. But this is overall what about this front runner load bars kit and how it's holding up with the tent. So I'll keep you guys updated on this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because we're going to be doing a full-on review of the CVT Freedom Series hybrid Rainier tent. This thing is freaking awesome. It is something unbelievable. I've never had a rooftop tent before. It's so comfortable inside. This weekend is the first weekend I'm going to be actually trying it out, and that is probably when I'm going to film the video on the review of the tent. Like and subscribe, and I hope everybody has a great night.